1 second.
Probably
Okay.
the guy that wants to fight you at KTB. I don't know.
Isn't that like 5 days away?
Something like that.
Let's see. All right. So, boo, 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 boo. All right. I guess. Wait. Marshall payroll completed.
Yeah, I saw this.
Okay, that probably came out of their budget. Is my? Oh yeah, we have the meeting today, don't we?
Oh yeah.
Ready for review. Administrative burden reduction in mass government casualty events.
Well, it's a good one.
Ooh. So 12 is the number that Peter's mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything, let me take a look at this. Role of the law enforcement is far-reaching. Is far-reaching and important for the safety and security of that. We will do this and burdens, especially in mass casualty events. The law enforcement tasked with extensive administrative duties, keeping them off patrol for extended periods of time. Ultimately, bill drafted in collaboration with the High Command seeks to relieve administrative burden in situations where deliberate action is taken during incidents that result in mass casualty or casualty of government officials. The bill, relevant to all legislative authorities and the public, amends the criminal code of San Andreas and subsequently the penal code. I think this should say, you should use language where it's like, for Los Santos County, like, we should always assume that we can't guarantee that Princess is going to sign these things, right? So to prevent any sort of like what do you call it, hold up, it should say Los Santos County, like, you know, Los Santos County, but if dual, like, you know, if we get both signatures, then it's San Andreas. Type shit.
Do you see the line that I've highlighted? Can you see that? It's right above the signature line.
That's good, but the detail suggests otherwise, and you know that last line's probably going to get mixed, right?
Okay.
Because it says the bill relevant to all legislative authorities and the public amends the criminal code of San Andreas, right?
Yeah.
What am I missing?
I'll just move it up.
Okay.
Good.
Implementation. The Department of Justice will amend the criminal code of San Andreas against persons, Article 2 homicide and attempted homicide, Section B, felons to include the following charge: attempted mass murder, any person committing. Oh, I see. Okay. So his suggestion was that instead of there being a limit, there's like a singular charge.
Yeah.
Okay. Department of Justice. Okay. Through deliberate action, attempts to fatally harm 12 or more government officials in a singular incident. Shall be charged with attempted murder of a government official. Actions and incidents include, but are not limited to, opening fire on, causing explosive harm to, or otherwise attempting to fatally injure 12 or more government personnel in a single instance. And then the Department of the Offenses Against Persons, a person committing. I'm wondering if we should, the 3.2 should be like more penal code esque. You know what I mean? So, because this isn't going to fit in the penal code. Wait, is this
for a charge description? It'll fit in the penal code.
This whole thing will, for sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just thinking like maybe the wording should be different. Like, so when we look at the penal code, right? Let me pull this up real quick. Let me see. So that entire text is going to fit in there. Okay. I feel like it's kind of lengthy for a penal code, right? I think with us changing this, I think we should leverage law enforcement actually going back and referencing legislation, and this would be a good first stab at it. So instead of like you know how you're doing like A, B, C and stuff, that let's not even use A, let's not use I. It should be like a singular, like it should be like at most like 2 to 3 sentences, and then it's gonna say at the end of it, reference, you know, you know how we talked about having references in the penal code. So if they want to go in depth, they got to go back to the actual legislation and actually look at it. Yeah, like I would remove actions, blah blah blah. Yeah. And maybe it's any person who that commits that any person who deliberately attempts to fatally harm. Like we could even get rid of the self-reference. 12 or more government employees in a singular incident. Yes. And then it should be referenced to the legislation, right?
This doesn't make legislation. The legislation is the penal code change. The bill is to amend the. Well, I guess we could reference the criminal code, right? That's
Yeah. The criminal code.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's kind of the way that I envision, like, you know, as we're like altering these things, that you get the basic stuff, but like if you're like, oh, how does this work? You got to actually deep dive it, because these things could be paragraphs eventually.
So how do we know? Okay, I'll figure it out.
Like, how do we know in advance of putting it in what it's going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be Article 2,
I would say
Section B, right? It's
well,
going to be homicide and attempted homicide felonies, and it'll be number 5 because that would be the newest one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think a better way to do it is just put a placeholder in there. So what we could do is, you know, and then, you know, like something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
There might be a better way to like notate that. But something along those lines, like you know,
I might put a sample reference in there just so the DOJ knows what to do when it passes. Or I guess you're going to be pushing it forward, right? Okay. We'll figure it out.
Oh, you're saying like, what is the? I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, because it would be reference Criminal Code of San Andreas offenses against persons, right? But then it would be Article 2, Section B, Clause 5. Because right now 4 is the last one.
Yeah, I think we just go ahead. Yeah, you could just put the one that like where it would logically fit next. Because it's not like, maybe this might be a problem if there was like multiple people submitting legislation that's stepping on each other, but it's always going through us. So, yeah, maybe we just put in like where it's expected to go.
I guess it would be a capital crime though, right? Not a felony, which means you probably don't need to list primary, accomplice, and accessory.
Wait, why would this be a capital crime?
Oh, it's attempted. Never mind. Section B, felony. We're good.
Yeah. The next thing that I think we should add to this is that this charge can be enhanced if one or more of the parties dies. I think while we have an opportunity, we put that clarity in. So
an officer brought up to me that embezzlement should be changed due to recent events. Have it changed to judicial discretion.
They can. I would say they can absolutely write legislation for us. I think that our go-to anytime cops want something, they got to write something up.
100%. I told her like it's not a decision I could pass up forward, but ultimately you guys have to word it for what you want changed and for what reasons. That's why I like them to point out multiple instances, not just one. Because I know the instances they were reminded of is Moose Knuckles 62 mil.
Yeah.
But their reasoning for changing it was, well, if someone embezzles 1,000 money compared to $1 million, they shouldn't get the same time and fine. That should be up for the judge to decide when they go to court for it. I was like, well, if you were to write it up, I can easily just like pass it to either Nino or Princess.
Let's hold that thought for while we're finishing this up.
Yeah.
So this charge may be enhanced in the case of a fatality of a government employee. Are we I'm trying to think of like all the angles someone could play with this.
But you'd have to say involved in the incident.
Maybe enhanced in the case of, yes. So, okay, so let's poke holes through this. If someone shot 11 people, but then one of them dies, we want this charge to stick, and then it would be enhanced with one more fatality. Do we believe that's clear here? I would say this charge may be enhanced in the case of a fatality of a government employee involved.
Who's injured as part of the incident?
Yes. Yes, yeah. I like that. They can fight it all they want. It doesn't matter. Chat. Law is not about like. That's why we're now having to explain what spirit versus letter means. Yes, I like that. A singular incident. After let's actually, is it worth saying a singular incident will be defined as any event, any contiguous event that has a common, something. Give me a sec. Let me cook here. In a singular incident. You know what? Let's not expand what a singular incident is. I think let's see if that becomes a problem.
Let it play out in court, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Because let's say someone were to a junior, can you call Turner for me and let him know we're over here? Or 311 it?
I'll head
311. 311. Yeah, so right, we can let it play out in court, and quite frankly, a singular incident is pretty obvious, and if law enforcement cannot articulate something as a part of a singular incident, that's effectively on them, I would say. So if like Danger was shot here, and then his car was stolen on the other side of the city, they would have to show that those two situations are a singular incident. It wouldn't just be like, trust me, bro.
Yeah.
But, and so like, okay, so like the case of like yesterday, Junior, wait, you guys all know what happened to Junior yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so like yesterday, you know, like in court, they're going to have to show that Junior is related to a series of events that took place that day. If they can't do that, that's kind of on them. So, all right, I'm satisfied. In regards to the reference, I'd like to get that a bit shorter. So let me think here. So, it's got a little bit too many characters. What about the ID number?
Yeah, for the criminal code, I like that.
Yeah, like what about # report number and then A.2.B.5. I'm trying to think as like minimalistic as possible without it being too much of a burden.
What was it? 24151.
What about this? Is this better?
Out of there, folks.
How you doing?
Turner.
We're gonna
All
need
right.
just a moment, Turner. We're just like finishing
worries.
a thought. You can listen in on this if you'd like.
All right.
Yeah. Trying to think like what is the most readable? Readable but short.
What's going on, Adam?
I mean, I know how I would do it, but
Wait, type that out next to where I just put in.
oh,
Let's throw it-
you're not gonna like it.
No,
Jess.
no. Go ahead. Like I want to see. I think we put a bunch of examples together and we see what it could look like. Actually, I do like that already. Yeah, I like the shorthand.
That's what I would use the
However, I'd
section
make
symbol,
I'd
but-
make it capital instead of lowercase. Okay, I take it back. Actually, lowercase stands out more.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's go with that. If we decide at some point that there is a better shorthand, we can just I love this, brother. Like think about the majority of our penal charges looking like that.
Oh,
Holy
hold on.
fucking shit.
What's the report number again? Can you
Yeah. Give me a sec.
24151?
Nino, I've got to shoot and go sort out someone's weapons.
Yeah,
license
go
for them. They've
do
been
it.
pestering it for me a week.
Do your thing, do your
Can
thing.
I hit you up in a bit? I got a couple of businesses that need approving, and
That can wait till tomorrow. I think we've got
Okay.
way too much on us.
Easy.
Talk to the tow guys. They're
I have. They've already submitted it. They're good to go.
no, they didn't. When did you talk to them today?
Yep, it's tiptoeing. It's on the. They said they put it on the tablet and they put it on the.
Did you review it?
Website. I've reviewed it. They've not done a document, but
Yeah.
realistically, are we getting the document out of
Yes.
them?
Yeah.
All right, just added.
We can't lower our
reference.
standards just because you know what I mean. Why would we?
All right.
We can't give them like you know, if they can't put in the effort, they don't get a business.
All right, I'll let them know.
Yep. Let me see. What was it called again? Michael?
The bill?
No, sorry. The offenses against persons.
Yeah. I just added it to the reference of the bill.
It's going to be report number. Oh, wait. Can they not search? Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's going to be 24151.
Yeah, perfect.
This is really good because you can just copy the report number and just like pop it in and then A2B BB5. Wait, so what is this? Let me double.
Article 2. Section B. It should be C5.
Article 2, 2B. Wait. What does A2 mean?
Article 2. Right. Article 2 is homicide and attempted homicide.
Oh, Article 2, Section B.
Then it should be clause 5.
So why is it lowercase b? Is that like...
Oh, this should be like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we already have section B. Yeah, clause 5.
I love this. And is there supposed to be a space or no?
It doesn't matter. You can remove it.
Yeah. All right. Easy. Okay. This is... Okay. I really like this.
Perfect.
And then the last thing I will say is let's go to charge. And if we look at attempted murder, what is 5 times 12?
60,000.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Easy.
And then I followed
Easy.
the, is it 80-60% that Murray put forward? It's not in place yet, right? But I went with that threshold.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. I am good with this. Anything else that you think might need to be looked at in reference?
Ooh, did you date it? That'd be the only thing.
There we go. All right, beautiful. Okay. All right. All right, let's send it. Okay. All right. Boom, boom. All right. Next. And then I'm going to update the title to this to submitted. I really like the idea that we, I'm going to, top of the list today for that meeting is going to be getting tags for this. So we don't have to, that's going to be so much better. Throw them all into the bill section. And also when we're like looking back at this, we can actually like, it's easier to visually filter through what we've looked to.
When does it start, the meeting?
I think it's in an hour.
Okay, I might be able to catch a little bit of it.
Easy.
Yeah, it's in an hour.
It is?
Perfect. Yeah.
Beautiful. Wes needs to review 25312. So I'm going to skip that.
I should verify the VAF meeting's in an hour.
Oh. Uh-oh. We might need to push that out. Give me a sec.
All right.
Charles, could you see if Justice is on duty in the yellow pages? Ask him if the meeting is in an hour. I think it is. I don't remember, though.
Grayson's away.
Danielson's also awake.
Oh, beautiful.
You know
Okay.
about the VAF meeting?
I'm sorry?
What meeting?
The DOJ meeting?
DOJ meeting. Okay, I'll call him.
Or not the DOJ meeting, but the authority, a legislative authorities meeting.
Gotcha.
Oh, wait, what the fuck? Wait, DOJ hasn't...
Hey, Sean, I was wondering when the legislative authority meeting is. An hour. Appreciate you. Thanks, Sean.
Okay. Can we move the VAF one to an hour after that, Tuna?
It's in an hour. Yeah.
I don't have an issue with that. I'll check with Nakota. I'm sure that'll be all right.
Easy. All right.
Just want to touch base with you, make sure that the formatting on it looked good, and see if there's anything you want to go over this morning. Brandon's having some issues this morning, so I missed a meeting.
We have not had a chance to pop it open after it was entered in. Actually, let me take a look. BAF update.
It's kind of some rough formatting on it. I don't know if it's
Very
sufficient or
good.
not.
Did you do this or did he do
I
it?
did do it, yes.
You did it?
I did it.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
Looks bad.
Well, no, more like you know, that whiny bitch. Like if he's gonna, you know, cry about legislation all day, the least he can do is actually put some effort in, instead of having.
To be
the
fair, I dropped the ball there. I didn't inform him it needed to be formatted.
You're a good man there, Turner, protecting these sons of bitches.
That's just the truth.
Let me see. Okay. All right. I think. Okay, what I'm going to do is, before that meeting today, I'm going to discuss with the circle, just kind of like we're going to go and review it so we have something prepared for the meeting. But what's going on, Turner?
No, I'm just checking in with you. Wanted to
that's
get some
it.
feedback on that, make sure it looked okay, or if anything needed quick adjusting before the meeting.
Michael, I know you had thoughts because you've looked over it. I have not had a chance to review this myself.
I'll share my notes.
You look at the one on the MDT, right?
Yeah.
I formatted directly on there.
Yeah, I looked at it before you did the formats. Let me get my comments cleaned up and I'll send them over.
All right, sounds good.
No.
You gonna email those?
I can. Yeah, whatever you prefer.
But anything works, frankly. I just know there's no room for comments on the report itself, so.
Yeah, I wish we could do something like that where you could share a report and then edit it. So what we tend to do is like we put our notes like at the top if there's like to do stuff. But you know, got to work with what we got.
Right.
I wonder if we could actually get a report type that is shared between the police department and everybody else or something.
I mean, I can make that.
You can. Okay. I would recommend
that. We
doing
just have
that.
to add every single rank that would need access to it. It needs to be
Moogie,
manually
think of the
added to
3
each rank.
months.
So you have access. You have admin on the MDT there.
No, I don't.
I can do that then.
Okay.
I just need all the ranks that are affiliated with the mayor's office.
I think like I would look at Michael's. He should have the ranks.
He has all the ranks.
Upper ranks. Yeah.
Let me take a look here.
I think
What
I
do you
just have
think?
counselor now.
Let's make 2 categories. One between like Los Santos PD mayor, and then like
Wayne County.
and then one that has like both. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that way, if we're working on something Los Santos County, it's in there. And then if we're working one that's supposed to be PD wide, it can be in the other one. Like this one would be a PD wide one. But like, let's say we're working on, I don't know, some other shit. That way it's like, we can organize it like sort of up front. I think that'll be good. Yeah, I like that a lot, that idea.
I could work on that here. Michael, what's your state ID is 13200, right?
You got it. Yeah, 13200.
You're not coming up under staff.
Really?
Not by state ID. Last name's, how do you spell your last name?
RAZZEL.
I totally got your last name wrong, but okay, that pops up now. So you have formatter,
Yeah.
Los Santos County mayor, staff, and lawyer.
I would say we want Los Santos County mayor staff and mayor cabinet. Oh, it's probably mayor staff is probably the correct one.
Okay. All right. I'll just leave it to 1 rank then so we know we can track it. I'll leave it to Los Santos County mayor staff.
Easy. And I think you have to put mayor as well because I think I have my own.
You do. Yeah, Los Santos County mayor.
Gotcha.
Okay. I got that jotted down. I get that done today.
Awesome. All right, easy.
What do you want it called? One more time.
Let's have one called Mayor-LSPD report. And then one called, LSMO, BCSMO, PD. Something to that effect. Feel free to
So just to be make sure I understand it. You want one with the mayor's office and LSPD. You want one for LSPD, BCSO, and both mayor's offices.
Yeah, one that's for like me, Princess, Blaine County Sheriff's Office, and LSPD.
Okay.
But then a separate one that is for Los Santos County and the LSPD.
Perfect. Got it. I got that jotted down. All right. Good deal.
And you might need to, let me take a look. And I hate that we have to even do that, but the reason I'm even suggesting this is when things aren't locked down, those that should not have keys start like rumor milling the fuck out of it, and it's not a good thing.
Absolutely. Good deal.
Los Santos County Mayor. Oh, good. Okay, it's separated already. All right, fantastic. Okay, hell yeah.
What about Blaine County? Well, assuming it's the same.
Yeah, you can throw one of those in.
Princess Elena, Blaine County Mayor. Okay. How does she have a DAP?
She was DOC.
Issued 14 days ago. Bad cat pun. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Well, that's none of my business.
Yep.
Good deal. Anything else you want to cover there?
I think that should be it. Michael, did you send him notes? The notes?
Not yet, but I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds
Easy.
good. All right. We'll see you hour 45 from now. Where'd you want to meet?
Let's do
Want to do courts or something like that?
no. I'll text you. Text me like 10 minutes beforehand if you don't mind.
Sounds good.
I'll think of
Will do.
location. All right.
All
Easy.
right.
All right.
All right. See you all then. Y'all
Thank
take
you,
care.
Turner. Appreciate it. Okay. I think that's everything, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I spoke with Saren last night. He got started on the definitions, gave me what he had, and I'm going to finish it up today.
Fuck yeah. All right. Easy. Oh. We have another one.
Definition?
I spoke to Veronica about the emergency vehicle issue. And that was written up by Cooper Quint.
Okay.
I just want to point out that EMS wrote up a bill in proper formatting before PD did, while they had a 2-month head start. He produced this within 24 hours from the problem occurring.
Cool.
Wait, are you fucking serious? This is actually like really well written. Oh my god. I am actually beginning to like physically loathe police. It's like moments like this when he has, like, I mean, listen, the guy's EMS, and he literally did it. You didn't help him with this, did you?
No, I would have written it differently.
Wait, what? Like the formatting and shit?
No, I don't think we need 4 penal code charges to address. The
Oh yeah,
situation,
okay.
but
Go listen. Let's not get too pedantic. The guy's still at the end of the day.
I will get pedantic.
Trying to draw a comparison over the fact that these guys fucking sit on their fucking ass, and this EMS guy actually wrote something pretty decent, right?
Oh, to be clear, the VAF legislation is fundamentally worse in every way. Yeah. I just can't send my notes over to Turner yet because they say that everything is dog shit. And I don't think he's going to find that productive.
Oh man. Okay. Let's take a look at the EMS one first. So under the current clause, there's no protection for. Does the state actually own the vehicles?
I think they have. So I'm going back to when I was a doctor. I think they have personally owned vehicles, but they also have state-owned vehicles. I remember them having like a car or some shit like that.
I just sent a request to comment on this. Any vehicle listed personally owned by interference. I like the interference charge. I do not like that it's 2 charges and a distinction between state and personal.
Yeah.
I think the state is based on scuff and shit, and EMS needs to just deprecate those vehicles and stop and just stop using them.
So what I would propose, right, is rather than the penal code introductions, is expanding the definition in the criminal code of obstruction of justice.
Well, there's a couple things that this document is trying to address. The first is the interference of medical services, which is sort of unrelated to towing, but the reason it's in there is, in my conversation with Veronica, that was a key point here. Like, and this is distinctly why I was in support of what Veronica was bringing up versus what the PD brought up. I get it, PD, blah blah blah. Camel toes around. We don't know what we're doing. They have the tools. PD has the tools for them. The thing that is missing in the scope of our legislation, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is that if somebody, regardless of whether they're towing or not towing, interferes with any form of effort on medical services, there really isn't something in place that kind of captures that thing.
Depends what the outcome is, right?
Well, I mean, it could be like seen as like attempted murder or whatever, right? But it's still, but it's very like it's very It's a lot more like vague than you know, whether or not you towed the vehicle. See, crimes against public disorder, the theft of a Wait a minute, brother. While looking at this, they literally already have theft of a government vehicle.
I'm looking at it right now. I agree.
I'm gonna literally fucking lose my mind. Oh my God, Michael. I don't know why I do this anymore. I really don't. It's like, and you know why I'm like, this annoyed the fuck out of me as soon as I highlighted this? Is that we've now been talking about this for what, a span of what, less than 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, please tell me it is illegal for an individual operating when they're not their authorization granted by a government vehicle shall include any. Okay. Oh my Lord.
So, okay, here's my thing, right? The word operate shouldn't be in there. That's the only thing I have issue with. Because the argument could be made that I'm not operating the vehicle, I just towed it and put it on my flatbed.
I'm with you. The thing is, they haven't even entered that stage of the conversation.
Yeah. No, I agree.
My problem, and I don't know how to put this, is that it should be a minimum barrier of law that exists in San Andreas.
Yeah.
And PD wants to drag us down. And not PD in general, but like, there's like this fucking gross, I don't know, man. Like it's, you know what? I'll tell you what it feels like. It feels like we want to dumb everything down, like excessively, to a level that shit is already dumbed down. It genuinely is. The problem is education is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
So instead of closing that gap, and like, because what you're saying, yes, that argument could be made, right?
Yeah.
But they have to drive through that effort first.
Sure.
Right?
Sure, yeah.
And I'm going to provide an example is the aiding and abetting charge, right? That aiding and abetting charge that came into play is because someone, I don't know who they are, said, no, this is dumb. We're bringing it to this court. And it turned into a thing because it's spirit versus letter of the law.
Yeah.
Right? I think these guys are so fucking scared to take an L in court that they just want us to fucking give them like a black and white, like checkbox.
I agree entirely. I agree. Like, I don't have an argument against anything you just said. I agree completely.
But they don't understand. Like, I don't, they're like, keep putting their fingers in their ears. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me almost to like the shit that Cassidy used to say, where he's like, nobody wants this, right? Like, he might as well have like, do you know the reference? The nobody wants this?
I don't.
It's when Cassidy and Bones were on the same like juju on like drunk on the notion of they were so mad that Soze won the court case. This is my interpretation. That it resulted in the Constitution changing, and they refused to acknowledge that there was now 2 counties. And that any notion of a county separation in terms of culture and sort of legislation, etc., they would just be like, nobody wants this. As if that their personal perspective of what San Andreas was the ultimate only way for things, right? And by simply taking the nobody wants this approach, there was no room for a dialogue. There was no room for a debate. There was no like parlay. There was nothing. It was just one massive skip, right? And my problem, I think, when it comes to this is like it reeks of a very similar sort of oh man. Okay, look, fuck all this shit. Fuck what the we'll re-educate the PD when they bring up the topic. But
Yeah.
In terms of the EMS, I think having I like the idea that they have a you know what the other thing is, brother? Like what we're about to do, what we're doing right now is effectively logically going through what should be a police SOP.
Yep, I agree.
Where as someone in the police department is actually writing SOPs, I think these guys actually think SOPs are like how fast you drive. And they don't recognize that standing operating procedures are a way for police officers to handle situations within the realm of law. Yeah. So, but the fact that they don't have something written down, there's nothing we can reference. So what we're going to have to go through is like, okay, what should their SOP be?
Yeah. But that's my issue with the VAF legislation.
So now we're the DA as well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'd argue, though, that's not really a new issue.
Yeah, but then it leaves us with this, like... the problem, too, is like with this... I don't think they genuinely understand that passing like shit like this causes more problems, right? If it's not well thought out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So...
Can I'd like to throw this at you, right? A scenario, right?
Yeah.
A emergency medical vehicle is towed and the delivery of medical services obstructed, right? You could argue that may be unlawful imprisonment, that may be reckless endangerment, that may be kidnapping. If
I agree with all those things.
Right.
Wait, what is the wait? Run those back, because my main one is going to be what happened to. Is there harm that was brought to? So a little bit of context, right? The conversation I had with Veronica is that I do agree that if someone is unable to is impeded from receiving medical services, that should be extremely heavy time and fine.
Sure.
Because that is life that is being put into jeopardy while they are being treated, right?
Well, and it's a constitutional right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that I also told her that I do believe that if there is a pattern of this, that perhaps it should be a catch and release, such that the courts, based on the amount of damage that was done, can then assess what the time and fine is.
Yeah. See, I think if the situation were to escalate where the inability for EMS to deliver care to the person is obstructed by a tow operator, they would be liable for any damages, right? So if the person is critically harmed, they could potentially get second-degree murder, I would think. Or
I think I think you're right, actually.
Yeah.
So now we're going back to the problem that I think we need to convey is that we need to, before even entering into this approach, we have to analyze the entire penal code and ask ourselves a question: do they really need this? Because if we put something in, and this is the problem that I don't think is understood, is that we can't, if we just keep adding charges, that has a complete negative side effect, right?
It does.
We'd have to say, like, what, put a charge in for coke, marijuana, That's why drug shit was minimized.
That's
like, it actually makes their job harder, but it actually makes a defense attorney's job easier, if I'm going to be real. Because then you just argue that they put the wrong charge.
Yeah. I think it's like we said, I mean, weeks ago, right? When you get that granular and specific with your charges, you kill investigations.
What investigations?
Just in general, right? When the penal code is too specific I think that
This is a
is
very
negative
tough
to
chat.
police work in general, at least good police work. It makes law enforcement transactional.
We don't get paid enough for this.
Well, I mean, you set my pay, so.
Yeah, I know.
At least you guys have a budget to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys should have a budget to work with, to be honest.
Yeah. That's
Unfortunately.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Conspiracy to. The argument that you just put up is doing my head in a little bit, because you're not wrong. You know, part of the problem that EMS is seeing is actually a consequence of PD not doing their job, and EMS probably. I'm still not opposed on the impeding medical being separated, because I think impeding medical and targeting them can be separated and can be a stacking charge with the attempted murder.
Or we could make it like a fuck you amount of fine and time, and just make it an umbrella charge.
Hey, Junior.
I'm not sure about umbrella, but well, let's think through that scenario. If impeding medical and then impeding medical serially, but that could stack with attempted murder, right? Yeah. Because when you're impeding medical, the argument that can be made is when you impede one person's medical, you're in turn impeding other people throughout the city, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So a 10-minute transport is now a 30-minute, 1-hour transport, and now there's people that didn't get their medical services, right? Yeah. But for that particular individual, you can still stack on attempted murder. Where are these let's see. Human remains.
Offenses against persons.
Is it under persons?
Yeah, you're going to have unlawful imprisonment, reckless endangerment.
One sec. Just so I see it in front of me.
Yeah. Right at the top.
What's at the top? Okay.
Yeah.
And then we are... Okay. Attempted first-degree murder. Attempted second degree. Brother, they could, you know what I just realized? They also have the option to do second degree targeted violence.
Yeah, they could do manslaughter too.
Because the civilian individual group that's being targeted is EMS.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, you could say people as a whole, right? So you could say the group is patients. There's so many ways to actually chop this up. It's actually insane.
Yeah. I need 5 minutes at some point here.
Yeah. Okay, so let's run through this. Let's say your arm is broken.
Yep.
That's reckless endangerment.
Yep.
Right? But it would also be maybe not assault and battery, but I would say reckless endangerment. So it would be reckless endangerment. Is it kidnapping?
Abducts another person and holds them against their will.
Well, wait, did they tow someone with people in it?
Yeah, allegedly. There were 2 people in the back of an ambulance.
Like actual
patients.
Were the charges pressed?
I have no idea.
What is this guy's name?
Isn't that Cam guy? Cam?
Okay. I'm done with this topic for now. I'm going to lose my mind.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you called it. Was it 2 days ago? You said this is an articulation problem. Here we are.
I'll go eat some food. You guys have a good one.
Well,
I'm gonna go do.
Junior,
Yeah, we got other shit to do. Junior, yeah, we're just dealing with this fucking bullshit. We have other shit that we need to prioritize, I think, Michael. I think
I gotta wrap ribs in tinfoil.
all right, go do your thing.
If you do get a minute today, Nino,
Yep.
I need you to submit some food for the hot dog stand.
Yes, send me a direct email with the title, the price, and the link to the the wrapping.
Price purely for Goober.
Email.
Should we just
email.
put it as-
Sorry,
yeah,
Junior.
got
It's
you.
we got
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
alright.
I need you to make it nice and simple so I can copy pasta. Yeah.
I got
Today's gonna be a busy day. So the less thinking I gotta do, the better.
I got you easy.
Yeah. All right.
We got DOJ meeting in 24 minutes too, right?
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. I don't know why I'm walking this way. Why am I walking this way?
Catch you later.
All right, take care. Oh my God. Wait, why am I scuffed? What the fuck? There we go. Chat, I genuinely don't know what to do because, like, so, like, how am I supposed to process this? Yeah. Yep.